What's up, Guardians? Profane here. Thanks for checking out the video. Today we're checking out an amazing new Prismatic Warlock build featuring the FELWINTER'S exotic Helm. The FELWINTER'S Helm isn't a new exotic by any means, but it's one that you've probably not heard of much, because ever since its introduction, it has struggled to be a viable option at any level of PvE. That is, until Prismatic Subclasses were introduced. The addition of Prismatic, with its mix and match abilities, has given the FELWINTER'S an amazing opportunity to truly shine and excel. This exotic comes with the Warlord's End intrinsic trait. When defeating an enemy with a powered melee or a finisher, a burst of void energy will be sent out, weakening any enemy that's within an 8-meter radius. When these are performed on higher ranking enemies, that burst will be larger, extending out to a 25-meter radius. The effects will also last longer, lasting between 10 and 20 seconds based on those enemies' difficulty level. Enemies affected by this weakening burst will be disoriented, and they will take 30% additional damage from any source, and that includes any teammates. This is an amazing benefit, but it just hasn't been able to excel with any of the basic subclasses. But with Prismatic, we're able to make a couple of incredible combinations that will give the FELWINTER'S the ability to be more than viable. I wouldn't go as far to say that the FELWINTER'S could make a superior Grandmaster build, but it would easily provide you with the support that you need to take on legendary campaigns, expert lost sectors, and most dungeons and raids. The synergy between FELWINTER'S and Prismatic starts with the Feed the Void aspect. Ability Final Blows will grant Devour. Devour will give us health restoration and grenade energy off of each final blow, and each final blow will reset its timer. This is an invaluable benefit because it's going to give us a constant source of health restoration, helping us survive some of the most brutal onslaughts. We've also got the Lightning Surge aspect, and we're pairing it up with the Arcane Needle's melee option. Because of Arcane Needle, we're going to have up to 3 powered melee charges, and at any moment we could use those to unravel enemies, which would trigger the effects of FELWINTER'S. But when we have Lightning Surges, we'll have this supercharged attack that strikes enemies with a surge of lightning, and it jolts any enemy within a 4-meter radius, which will stun overload champions. And since we are wearing FELWINTER'S, all of those jolted enemies are also going to be hit by that weakening blast, making them easy targets for a follow-up lightning surge or a finisher. With a dense enough population of enemies, you could chain these finishers and surges all day long, keeping every enemy disoriented and weakened. And no matter what method we follow that up with, we'll already have Devour getting triggered, providing us with that health restoration and bonus grenade energy. Our grenades aren't the main focal point of this build, but they will certainly provide us with some benefits, especially when we have increased regeneration rates. We do have Threadling grenades, which is a great option to apply some extra damage, and a strained debuff. Otherwise, Cold Snap grenades would be a great option to be able to freeze targets just before we barrel in with those lightning surges. I also find it more beneficial to use a mix of both dark and light energies. This way you'll be able to charge that Transcendency buff faster. While we are Transcendent, we'll have rapid regeneration of all of our abilities, allowing us to throw several of those stasis and void infused grenades, and giving us the ability to spam several lightning surges on top of what we're already able to perform. And just like that, the Prismatic Subclass has made the FELWINTER'S Helm a pretty viable option. Survivability has always been a concern when running a build that features FELWINTER'S. Its use requires a lot of up-close and personal engagements. Devour will certainly help in that regard, but it's not going to reduce the amount of damage that we take from enemies. And that's where Woven Mail is going to be able to step in and bridge that gap between FELWINTER'S and comfortable survivability. We'll be able to have Woven Mail because we have chosen Needlestorm as our super. This gives us a very high-powered super to use on any boss or high-powered enemy. And since we are using the Facet of Purpose, whenever we collect an orb, we'll gain Woven Mail. While Woven Mail is active, we'll take 45% reduced damage from any source. So between the health restoration and damage resistance, we'll be in a pretty good position when it comes to most any in-game content. When it comes to our other fragments, our main goal is to amplify the regeneration and effectiveness of our lightning surges, so we've chosen to go with Facet of Balance. This provides bonus melee energy whenever we defeat enemies with light-based energies, and it grants bonus grenade energy whenever we defeat enemies with darkness-based energy. We're also using Facet of Sacrifice, so whenever we have a light-based buff like Amplified, Cure, or Devour, our final blows will grant bonus Darkness Transcendent energy. And with Facet of Honor, we'll gain even more bonus Transcendent energy, because whenever we collect an elemental pickup or destroy a tangle, we'll gain bonus energy of that matching energy type. This will feed right into our use of Facet of Awakening, because rapidly defeating targets with light or darkness energies will spawn elemental pickups of that matching energy. This will mean we'll be generating tangles, ionic traces, and void breaches, providing us with a significant amount of bonus ability energy. And as we defeat enemies with all those lightning surges and all those grenades, these fragments are going to charge that transcendency up pretty damn fast, turning us into a non-stop surge fest, spreading jolt and weakening effects across the battlefield. As impressive as this build can be on its own, there are several new artifact mods that will greatly improve our ability regeneration, our survivability, and our damage output. Elemental Siphon will generate bonus elemental pickups whenever we defeat enemies with kinetic or strained weapons, and this is because Needlestorm is our current choice in super. We were already set on making plenty of elemental pickups, so this will really boost how much ability energy that we'll be generating. We'll also have a ton of bonus damage resistance coming our way, thanks to Galvanic Armor. Whenever we are amplified, we'll gain a damage resistance bonus, and this will register in as a 25% bonus, but it will get extended up to 35% whenever we are transcendent. This will stack on top of the resistance bonus that we'll already be getting from having Woven Mail. The Radiant Orbs mod will grant us with Radiance whenever we pick up an orb, and this will provide all of our weapons with a 20% increase in damage, along with the ability to pierce barrier shields. We've also got Void Hegemony, which will play right into our use of the FELWINTER'S Helm. This is going to grant us with a Void Overshield whenever we defeat weakened enemies. We could also pair this up with Expanding Abyss, and that would give any source of void damage a 35% bonus against weakened enemies. And keep in mind that those enemies are already taking 30% extra damage. There are two other 5th column perks that would work out really well with this build, but in the end, you can only have 2 out of the 3. Shield Crush would help us regenerate our melees faster, and they would have bonus damage whenever we have Woven Mail. And while we have our Amplified or Radiant bonus active, our grenades will recharge faster, and they'll deal more damage. A nice little trade-off there. Transference would help us have more lightning surges and more grenades to use during Transcendency, so that's really going to be a benefit that we want to take advantage of. And any weapon final blow while Transcendent would charge up bonus energy that will get applied to our next Transcendence. So just between our Prismatic Subclass and this new artifact, we're going to have a ton of ability regeneration and damage bonuses, a ton of health recovery, and a ton of damage resistance, making us damn near unstoppable. Our goal of infinite lightning surges trickles down through to our armor and our armor mod choices. The main character stats that we're focusing on are resilience, and strength to maximize our damage resistance and our melee regeneration. Beyond that, it would be recovery and discipline. When it comes to armor mods, we'll be using as many mods as we can to generate orbs and generate bonus melee energy. We have mods like Invigoration, Outreach, and Distribution, which will all help regenerate bonus melee energy. We have Reaper, Heavy-Handed, and Helmet Siphon mods, which will keep us loaded up on orbs so that we can keep triggering Facet of Purpose. We'll also be able to load up on armor charges so that we can make use of melee kickstart. This will consume armor charges and convert them into melee energy, providing us with as much as 40% additional energy. So we've got this walking nuke of a build. Weakening effects and jolts are going to be spread from sea to shining sea. So what weapons should we be using? When it comes to our choice in exotic options, the Monte Carlo is certainly a standout option since it helps regenerate our melee energy. I also find the Final Warning to be a solid choice, especially since sidearms will stun unstoppable champions. There's a few solid void options like Graviton Lance, La Monarch, Leviathan's Breath, or the Buried Bloodline that would all work really well right alongside the use of Expanding Abyss. When we look at legendary options, the Call and the Indebted Kindness are two of the best choices right now. I also like the Until Its Return Strand Shotgun with Trench Barrel, since we could make use of that bonus damage after each lightning surge. If we are using Void Hegemony and Expanding Abyss, it would be a good idea to use legendary weapons that come with destabilizing rounds, or Repulsor Brace. One of the most effective void weapons with this setup is the Commemoration, a heavy machine gun that drops with Reconstruction and Killing Tally, an amazing combination of perks to go alongside an amazing build. Beyond the aforementioned legendary weapons, those that come with Grave Robber or Pugilist will be a sure bet since they'll cater to our use of heavy lightning surges. In the end, the choice in weaponry will rely heavily upon the activity that you're jumping into. But no matter what the activity is, you can count on FELWINTER'S to go straight beast mode right now, infecting your enemies with jolt and weakening effects and giving you all the survivability that you would ever need to dominate here in the final shape. And with that said, I wish you all the best of luck out there. Let me know your thoughts about the FELWINTER'S, Prismatic Warlocks, and the state of Destiny. Let us know down in the comments. Thank you as always for checking out the video. If you enjoyed and found it helpful, then be sure to hit that like button below, along with the subscribe button if you're new. Both are greatly appreciated and both really do help support the channel. If you need help setting up this build on your own, then be sure to check out the Mobalytics link that's down in the description. If you're a new Light Guardian just starting your journey, or a battle-hardened veteran just looking for a new home, then be sure to check out the Discord link in the description below and join one of the greatest communities in all of Destiny. And until next time, Guardians, this has been Profane, wishing you all some happy hunting.